the deacon. The deacon from Buffalo. I come and do an event here that they're having. They found me in the Black Yellow Pages.
Did you already have the fourth book out?
It's the third book.
The third book, okay.
The Awakening
okay.
In With Him.
Okay.
That's the one. That's the other thing too, though. I can say, at the end of every book I release, the relationship was over. By the time the book is done, the relationship is done.
Yeah.
You understand that?
Yeah.
How God worked. So it was like, would I have a fourth book if I didn't go through this situation? Probably not. If I would have never met the deacon, there probably wouldn't be my breakthrough, looking in the mirror.
Yeah.
My breakthrough, looking in the mirror. So after that, I was 2 years. I was by myself, just me and God.
Okay.
And He take care of everything. I can really say that, like, God take care of me when
Amen.
I'm by myself.
Yeah.
But maybe it's not everything you want at the same, you
Right.
know.
Yeah.
He will definitely provide your needs.
Absolutely.
But it's just like you said, you looking over here and you like, oh, but just Lord, if I could just get that and have that too, you know, it's all gonna work together. And my life gonna be smooth. And you know, you got this deacon, and I met him, and it took about maybe 1 year later. I ended up meeting him again. I'm coming from Buffalo, selling my books out there to my family, and somebody following me. We almost got a road rage situation. I think they can beat me, and I'm like, man, I'm Elijah Gamble daughter, you know, like Night Stalker of the road, you know. You are not gonna win, you know. And by the time we follow all the way from Buffalo, we like back and forth. And then finally we get to the Bayfront connector, and he stopped and he rolled his window down. Like, roll your window down. And I'm like, yes, how may I help you? Like, you thought you was gonna beat me? You wasn't. He's like, you know, I can't help myself. And he said, you know, like, yeah, you was trying to get here, wasn't you? Like, what you doing here? Or what you was doing in Buffalo? Which one? Like, where you live?
Right,
I said, I live here.
Yeah.
You know, I said, I was down there selling my books. And he said, well, what books? What kind of books you got? You selling books for somebody? I said, no, they're my books. You know, I'm selling my books down there, and now I'm coming back home. So he said, pull over. You know, can you show them to me? And when I pull out the books, he said, wait a minute. You was the girl that came and spoke and did a poem for our, they had a church anniversary or something here when I met them the year prior. And he said, oh my God, I've been looking for you. And I'm like, you know, for what? Y'all need me to do another poem? And, you know, he said, no, I was just looking for you personally. And I was like, nah, I ain't open to that. You know, I ain't open to that. I said, I'm on a date. You know, and he said, well, maybe just sometimes you can come to Buffalo and visit with me and come to our church, and, you know, I'll take you some places you've never been, because I had never been to Niagara Falls at this point.
Okay.
So we talking like 2013. It was like the year after the domestic situation I met him. I probably like physically started dating him in like 2014. So he was a deacon, he was a contractor, and the first time I went to visit there, he got pulled over. And they like, you know, you keep driving without a license. Next time you get pulled over, we taking you to jail. And so he said, you can't ever find no job. So I tell you what, how about you come here a couple days a week and you drive for me, and I'll take care of whatever you got to take care of at home. And I was like, what? He said, yeah, you can do your book thing. There's some people here, you know, the poetry scene is great. You can come do the poetry thing, drive for me a couple days a week, and I'll take care of every bill you got at home.
So it don't seem like he's actually controlling. It sounds like he's supporting your business. Yeah.
That's what it sounded like, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, this could be it. You know, the deacon, the next year, you know, he proposed to me. It was like, you know, we got engaged 2014. And it was like, but I can't explain it. He proposed in front of the kids, but it wasn't like an actual proposal. It was like, you know, he's like, open this bag. And I opened the bag, and he like, you know, open the box. And I opened the box, and there's a ring. And he like, you know, will you marry me? And it's in front of my children. And I'm like, oh my God, wait a minute. Cause
you know, just got out of a relationship 2 years.
Flags,
you got it. Yeah, exactly.
It was domestic. It started off
that
sweet.
Was 2 years ago, right?
2 years
right.
ago.
Oh,
and I
man.
said, okay, well, I tell you what, if we together for 3 years and things are good, then I'll marry you. And it was like, okay, you know, so You know, he went to the house, and you know, my dad met him. You know, he was probably one of the only men that was physically at my house with my family and my children.
Right.
And it was like he lived in Buffalo, so he didn't have to live with us. You know, he just came there He came there a couple days or every holiday or whatever have you. So.
And this was for 3 years.
Yeah, for 3 years.
Okay.
And so it was like maybe. So the year before we were supposed to get married, it was a couple of things I was involved in. One was a play that St. Treese came to Erie and did.
Okay.
And my dad, my children, and him, he attended. And it was the first real red flag. It was already some red flags. It wasn't, it was like, he supported, but only to an extent.
Did you ignore the flag? Like, did you ignore the flags, or you recognized it and you knew, like, oh man, this is familiar.
These might be flags. Yeah. But it was like, it ain't that bad. You know, I think that's what it was. It was like, well, he a deacon. It ain't that bad. You know.
Oh man.
But then, so I participated in this play, and I had a husband in the play. Now, mind you, in the play, we didn't kiss, we didn't do anything. But the fact that I had a husband in a play, he had a fit. And my dad is saying, oh, nah, you might can't marry him. Like, he mad because you was in a play and you got a husband in a play. Like, y'all didn't kiss, hold hands.
Was this the second year in?
This is the
second or
year
third?
in.
Oh, second year. Okay.
Remember, in 3 years,
right.
I'm supposed to marry.
Right.
So it was like, I don't know, Tanya. You know, like, because I didn't understand, like, the play was beautiful. So at the end of the play, everybody was invited to come meet the cast. He didn't even move. He was like, ain't no way I'm coming down there to meet none of them people. And I'm definitely not meeting the person that's supposed to be your husband.
It's a play.
It was a play. And so my dad was like, oh, no, something wrong. Something wrong, Tanya. You might not be getting married to this man. So, I'm like, all right, sir, whatever. However you feel, we're going to go with that. And, I'm like, but right now, my baby about to graduate. And, I got to say, out of all my kids, he was probably the more materialistic one. But, and he wasn't materialistic, like, and flamboyant or, he didn't brag. But it was like, he want to buy what he want to buy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Whereas my other children, it was like, oh, just get us something nice.
Right.
But he was, oh, no, Mom, I want these shoes. They $125. and so it was like, well, sir, right now I got to ride this wave because he about to graduate and he want what he want. His watch costs, his watch he want for graduation costs $200 and something. So he got to be around for this, you know.
He flexing.
Yeah. So it was like, okay. And everything just still seemed, great, I guess, to an extent. But then, on my little brother, the same one that I told you about that I had to go to when the domestic situation happened in 2012.
Right.
Imagine it's 2016. So the time that we were supposed to get married was the 3-year period for him would have been July of 2016. So he started pressing, getting married, but we done had a couple of domestic bouts in between. They weren't bad, but hands were placed on each other. And it was like, oh yeah, no, I can't marry you. I said, my dad said, whatever is happening when you're in a relationship is going to be amplified in the marriage.
That's it. Absolutely.
So, so it was
that's
like,
so true.
I can't marry you right now. And it was like, okay, well, you need some more time.
So he already put his hands on you, or y'all?
Yeah, we already had a domestic situation, but it wasn't terrible.
And this was because of what? The play?
Yeah, no, the aggression came after the play. So then now imagine I'm participating in poetry events in Buffalo.
So he insecure.
So it got so bad that we couldn't even go to the poetry events because if somebody wanted to buy a book, he wanted to sell it to them. And it was like, what do you mean? I have to explain what it was about. So it was like, oh, so you trying to leave me for one of these people? And I'm like, what? Like, hold on. They're trying to buy a book. I want to sell them my book, and that's it. And so we went to a couple of poetry events that I was featured in, and he's in the audience arguing with the people. So it was like, oh, absolutely, I'm not marrying you. So then it became aggressive. So then it was like the little shoves at first. And then one time, he slapped me. I slapped him back.
And this is in Buffalo, right?
Yeah. And I'm saying, I ain't about to be going through this, Oh, well, yeah, but I take care of everything that need to be taken care of. Okay, but I'm not about to be going through domestics. I already told you I've been through this, and I don't want to go back.
Yeah.
Every one of my relationships ended in the PFA. I need you to understand that. I'm talking about my children's fathers to the deacon. The man from 2012. Mm-hmm. Every relationship, and the one I went to jail for, every one of these relationships ended in the PFA.
Wow.
So now this one in Buffalo. So it's like
before you
go ahead.
Before you continue, I was gonna say this is the cause is you being in these relationships, and and it's like it's okay as long as it's building to marriage. However, when sin is involved, because we live in a world of sin. That's just what's gonna happen. But it's the choices that we make. But if you feel like there's no progress and it's a recurring situation.
But I was supposed to marry all of them. It was like,
wow.
Oh, what time y'all want to marry you? But then they cheat and then they start beating you, because that's what it was.
But that's the thing about sin, though. Sin just
absolutely
it starts off small and then it
grows and it festers. And that's what it was.
And it's like you can't get rid of it. Well, only God can get rid of it.
That's it.
And you have to make up in your mind, like, I know this is not what God. This. Why would God put you in a relationship where you getting your hands put on?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. So that's actually what happened. That's where this is it.
But because there are relationships where females are so, and I'm not saying this is you. I'm just saying that there are relationships where females actually believe that it's normalized. To get their hands put on, and
it's so crazy you brought that up because I think that's really what it is.
Wow.
It's like where it began.
Yeah.
Just being honest.
Mm-hmm.
I seen a lot of domestics growing up.
Yeah.
So I think somewhere, because you have the woman saying, "Oh, but he loved me. It's okay. It's just a phase."
That's it.
I think somewhere in my mind it was programmed that it's just a phase. He loved you. It's gonna stop. Or it ain't so bad. He just loved you, and he don't know how to control his temper when he feels jealous.
Wow.
And I think somewhere it became like this is just a stigma.
This is my life.
It's okay.
Yeah, not my life, but this is
like this is what you're gonna go through.
Yeah.
And it's okay, but it's gonna stop.
Wow.
And then finally was this one, and it was like the deacon. You thinking the deacon, what? It don't get no better than the deacon. The deacon supposed to be a lover of God. And that's how he acted, like in the church, it was like, oh, we know y'all going through some things, but you got to excuse him. He just love you, but he's chasing after God, and he just wants you to be his wife. But I'm saying, okay, but it's a little bit domestic, and I don't know what y'all talking about, but I'm not marrying this man.
And don't get me wrong, as believers in Christ, we do get a little emotional at times.
Yes.
We do get a little upset, but to put our hands on someone,
absolutely,
and you walking with God,
no, you can't make the two don't intertwine, and it's okay.
And if you are doing that, I guarantee he was not going to God about it and asking God to help me with
That's
my
how
anger.
I feel about it.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Or go see a therapist or something.
Any of it.
And he wasn't trying to get no help or nothing.
No,
he thought he was fine. He thought he was okay.
Yeah, he said, it's okay.
So you can only imagine who else he was probably putting his hands on too.
Right.
Before you.
Prior to that.
Yeah.
He had an ex-wife, so I'm assuming, they had some domestics.
Wow.
Because you didn't just get domestic in most cases.
Good.
So it was like, but on December 19th, 2016, his birthday was December 12th.
Okay.
And so it was like, we need to go file for these marriage license. December 12th. Oh, yeah, on Monday, we need to go file for this marriage license. And so I kind of looked into it, and it's like, you got 30 days. So I was like, I ain't marrying you in 30 days.
In the state of New York?
Like, I'm not marrying you in 30 days. I don't care what you're talking about. And so he's like, what? Oh, no, you told me 3 years, and now it's been 3.5 years. And the church expects me to be married to you.
The church?
Yeah, it's like the church is expecting me to be married to you. And that's what it got to be, because I'm not going to them telling them that you're not marrying me. Like, that's not going to happen. And
Enemy had plans for you, cuz.
Fast forward.
Wow.
December 19th, I was in Erie all day with my brother for his birthday because I never miss it. And I'm in Erie all day, and I go back that evening, and it was like, so what you do all day? I was with Baby J, of course. He said, okay, so are you ready to go file for these marriage licenses on Monday? So I was like, no, I'm not doing it. And it was like, I'm just walking through the kitchen, and all of a sudden, I'm at the refrigerator, and my glasses go flying across the floor.
Oh,
I'm like, wait a minute, hold on, what's happening? So I was like, wait a minute, did you hit me? Because it was, I think for a minute I was just shocked.
Yeah, like
my glasses went flying across the floor, and I'm like, damn, did you hit me? And all of a sudden, we were rumbling, and I mean rumbling. Like, cuz I'm talking about blood, I'm leaking, he leaking, and all of a sudden, because I'm hitting him as hard as he hit me at this point.
Right.
He slammed me on this contractor equipment. I'm talking about the air compressor. He slammed me on this air compressor.
Oh, that was his business?
Yeah.
That's what he did? Oh,
and the fight stopped.
Okay.
The fight stopped because I had no wind, no air. I actually thought I'm about to die. You know, like I couldn't breathe. It was like, you just broke something because I can't breathe.
Wow.
And he said, you better get up, get yourself together. And I get up, but I'm looking for my phone because I'm about to call my little brother. My little brother know where you live. He's on his way. I don't care. And I can't find the phone. I'm limping, and I can't breathe. And I'm saying, you might got to take me to the hospital. And he's like, you crazy as hell. I ain't about to take you to no hospital. I ain't going to jail for you. And right then and there was like, what? Maybe I better go look at myself. And I go look at myself. And I got a black eye. But, like, I'm scratched up. I'm scratched up bad. I'm talking about, I look a mess.
So this is kind of like something similar,
it's similar
to 4
to
years.
That, but yeah, it's similar to that.
Not as bad, but still.
But as bad.
It's the fact that he put his hands on you,
The difference is my eyes aren't completely black. My hair is not pulled out, but I got a black eye. You can tell the eye is going to be black. This just happened.
Right.
The eye is going to be black. I'm scratched up, and I can't breathe. Like, something is wrong. Like, I can't breathe. And I got a limp. And I'm saying, you just broke something.
Oh, my God.
And he's like, I don't know what you're talking about, but we ain't going to the hospital. You better lay your bed down and go to sleep, and I ain't giving you your phone. It was in that moment that I realized that the phones almost got us in a messed up place because I only knew one phone number, and it was my dad. And I was saying, ain't no way I'm calling my dad, telling him the same situation happened that happened 4 years ago.
Yeah.
Like, there's no way.
Especially because he warned you after the play.
And he gonna have a fit. Like, he gonna kill this one. And I'm saying I can't do it to him. So it was like, okay, he gonna give me the phone back and I'm gonna leave. Now at this time, my baby got my car, which actually is his car. Like, give him the car and he gonna buy me a car. So it left me carless. I'm using his car.
Right.
And when I'm home, I'm driving the car that I gave to my baby. So it's like, what I'm supposed to do. So I said, okay, I just need him to give me my phone back. And I'm going to figure it out. So he don't give me the phone back. It's December 22nd. He came in the house and he said, oh, you supposed to go home today, I know. Because remember, I go here 3 days a week to drive for him. This is our exchange.
Okay.
So it's on a 3-day drive. It's on the 3 days of me driving that this happened. So on this day, the 22nd, I'm supposed to go home. And it's December 22nd. So he come in the house and he said, I know you got to go Christmas shopping for them kids and everybody. So here go the money. Get up, get yourself together, and go shopping for them. And I was like, I need the phone. And he said, I ain't giving you the phone.
Oh, my
I'll give you the phone when I take you home. And you ain't taking your bags. So for me, it was like the bags didn't consist of the clothes. For me, the bags consisted of wait a minute. My clothes is in one bag and my writings are in the other bag.
Mm.
And I know you don't think I'm leaving my writings. Here, you can have them clothes. And he said, that's what I'm talking about. You ain't taking that bag. He said, I'm going to take you there. We're going to have Christmas. After Christmas, we'll come back and I'll let you get your bags and stuff. So on the way home, he gave me the phone. We came, we had the gifts. He stayed for the 3 days to the day after Christmas, maybe even to the 27th. And then, so everybody's like, what's happening? Why you got that lamp? Oh, because I witch hazeled myself to death over these days before we come back, which take my black eye away.
Yeah.
The scratches, they can't really see them because he scratched me on the equipment that he slammed me on. And so the scratches, I just have to cover them. And so everything looked good except for the limp. Everybody is like, my little brother, my dad, the kids, what's up with, like, why are you walking like that? Why do you got that limp? So I said, I be working with him doing the construction. I hurt my leg getting off the ladder. And it was like, yeah, okay. Fast forward. I went back. We went back after the 1st. So this is on the 3rd. So I get up early in the morning. The first bus leave at 6:50. I get up about 5 o'clock in the morning and I said, I got to leave today. He said, what? No, we're going to leave when I get off work. I said, no, I need to leave today. I have to leave today because it's an emergency situation happening at home with my aunt and I need to go there. And he's like, well, you can't wait till I get off work. I'm like, no, I need to go. So I take all of my stuff. And the clothes, I actually took them to a shelter around the corner. I got my writings and the clothes I got on and I'm ready. Okay, let's go. So he took me to the bus station. And when I got on the bus, he said, so when am I seeing you? Are you coming back or am I coming there? And I was like, neither. And he said, well, what do that mean? I said, I ain't coming back.
And he still got your phone, I'm assuming, right?
No, he gave me the phone.
Oh.
Because remember, now we back. He made me come back because my stuff is here.
Got you. Okay.
So now we're back. And so I get up early in the morning, like I got an emergency, I got to go home. And so I came home. And he's saying, when am I coming back? And I'm saying, I'm not. He said, when am I coming? You're not. I said, this is it. And he was like, what? So you going to play me like that? And I was like, no, you actually played yourself. So get on the bus and I get home and I'm in the basement with my dad. This is January 3rd. The domestic situation happened on December 19th. Now, remember, he was the person promoting, you writing, and I couldn't do any of that anymore. So the same scenario. I got all these writings in my book bag. I sat on this porch every day after we got off work. I only went wherever he took me. Other than that, I wasn't allowed to go with my cousins to an event or none of that. So it was like I had all these writings in this book bag. And, I'm in the basement and I'm talking to my dad. And, I still don't want to tell him what happened because I'm going to spare him from that,
Right.
But I still can't breathe. I still can't breathe. It was like for the first 3
you think
days
like he punctured your
that he
lung
took
or
me
something,
hostage. It was like I couldn't breathe. So my grandson is jumping on the bed. I'm on the bed with my dad, and I'm laying there and I'm talking to him. He's sitting up, and I'm laying over the corner of the bed. My grandson jumping on the bed, and all of a sudden he jumped on me. And just reflex, I throw him across the floor. It was simultaneous to me screaming
right.
oh my God, you just broke something. And so he jump up, he bounced up, and he crying. He's like, Nana, what's happening? Why you push me? And I'm like, oh my God, baby, you hurt me so bad, and I'm apologizing to him. But my dad looking crazy, oh, nah. What ain't you telling me, Tanya? And I said, what?
Oh, man.
What you talking about, sir? He said, look how you crying. He said, yeah, he jumped on you, but something is wrong.
Yeah.
So what ain't you telling me? And I said, well, what happened to my leg, sir? I had a fight with Punch. He slammed me on the equipment, and
wow.
I ain't really been able to breathe. It kind of hurt when I lay down, so I really ain't been sleeping in the bed. I've been sleeping on the chair because I can't. Something about when I lay down, it hurt so bad. And he said, "Man, go to the hospital right now." And I was like, "Sir, that was a couple weeks ago." He was like, "Go right now." and call me and tell me what they're talking about. And I went to that hospital, Steph, and I was there for hours. So immediately after they did an x-ray, they're like, we calling the police. And I'm like, what? Like, hold on. What y'all calling the police for? Like, oh, we have to call the police when it's a domestic situation. And I said, okay, but it happened 2 weeks ago. She was like, well, by law, we got to call them. And so the police come, and now all my results are back. So they like, you got a concussion, you got a rotated pelvis.
Oh my gosh.
Your ribs are bruised, and your meniscus is torn in your knee. So I'm like, what do any of that mean? So they're explaining it to me. You know, because I can't stand up straight. I got this limp, and I'm thinking it's just my knee. No. They're like, your pelvis is rotated. We got to re-rotate that. The meniscus in the meniscus torn in your knee, we might got to do surgery on that. Your ribs is bruised, and they had to almost be fractured because it's been 2 weeks, and they're still bruised today. And you still got a concussion.
And that's how it happened from
later.
your... So from your grandson jumping on your broken rib, I'm assuming, right?
Yeah, it was almost broken. Yeah.
Wow.
That sent me to the hospital because I didn't know any of this was wrong. Right. I wouldn't have known because I'm trying to hide it from them, you know?
Yeah.
So I'm never telling them anything. But then that happened.